Hello everyone, welcome to the presentation of Grapheal, a very interesting talk. I'm delighted to introduce Vincent Bouchiat, who is the CEO of Grapheal, and he will talk about digital embedded biosensors for remote and field diagnostics. Vincent, over to you.
Hello, thank you for the introduction. So I'm very pleased to present you today some application of Graphene. And in Grapheal, it's a small startup focusing on healthcare application, and we are trying to push the envelope toward real product that can reach the market, hopefully in the next few months and years. And so really wanted to show that CVD graphene, monolayer graphene, can be produced now at sufficiently good quality, reproducibility, and cost, so it can be introduced into disposable sensor that can be used on the field. So the company is a spinoff of the French Research Center at Grenoble. So Grenoble is a small city in the southeast of France, in the French Alps, and which is well known for electronics. And we are coming from the field of nanoelectronics, but gradually we want to actually recognize that the application to healthcare and the merging of this electronics with embedded system is very fruitful and could really make consumable product at a really low time scale. So we are deployed on two sites, the original site which produce the materials and which also make the characterization, and a second site which is a P2 biological lab when we do the testing of the biosensors, which is in front of the University Hospital, so where we do the clinical trial. So we have 12 employees, and we have been funded at the seed level up to $2.3 million. So biomedical application of graphene are surfacing now in many fields, actually, for drug delivery, for gene delivery, and for bioimaging with graphene quantum dot. And I will focus on actually biosensing and also the fact that we can probably at the same time do tissue engineering. And the combination of the two is very interesting, especially in wound care. So I'm going to actually speak about a very precise subpart of graphene. Graphene is a wide range. It exists in many flavors. I will talk about what we call graphene on insulator, which ideally look like this membrane of graphene, exact monolayer that can be produced today on large scale, which is supported by flexible insulators, which is basically a polymer. The nice thing is that you can still have a high electronic mobility, and because it's a monolayer, you have limited to absolutely no release of carbon nanoparticle in the tissue, which basically solved the problem of biocompatibility. So we started working on the biocompatibility of graphene for actually a very long time, almost 10 years now. First, we actually look at the growth of neurons on graphene on silicon oxide. And then we directly make the growth on some transistors to study the interaction of this network of neurons and the way of probing the electronic activity of these neurons with the underlying transistors. The nice thing here is that you can make transparent transistors on glass or on polymer, so you can use inverted microscope. On the back, you use the top part as a fluidic manipulation port, and in the plane, you have the electronic recording port here, and we can see that you have indeed activity, and if you introduce toxin, then you stop the activity. This electronic performance show that we can produce large amount of transistors with significantly good sensitivity, which is almost on par with what you can produce on solid-state devices made on silicon, with a mobility that can reach up to 60,000. Then we went in vivo, and then what we did is covering implants, intracortical implants, with graphene that can record the activity in vivo. And we showed recently that if the same implant, which is a commercial one, is coated with graphene, you have